Hi everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about what's going on lately with GameStop, the Reddit people, and Dogecoin. Um, so it kind of remind me like this book I used to read a few years ago, Soros by Soros, and he has this theory called reflexivity, which I think is probably the best explanation for what's going on right now, and which we cannot describe it using traditional economic theories. So the prevailing wisdom in the financial market is pretty much always in equilibrium. And when there are divergence, their nature of random walks, and they tend to be corrected by other random events. And according to Soros, this view is based on a false analogy with Newtonian physics. And Soros takes a completely different position. In his views, the divergences are inherent in our imperfect understanding. Financial markets are characterized by a discrepancy between the participants' perception and the actual state of affairs. At times, it's negligible, and other times, the course of events cannot be understood without taking it into account. So, recently, the European Central Bank, there are people saying Bitcoin is going to be zero. I mean, people have been saying that for years, but it hasn't been zero yet. It went down, but came back up. And people saying Dogecoin has zero value, but it went up like 400% like in a day. So how do we explain that? So now let's talk more about like Soros' reflexivity. So what is reflexivity? He uses it to describe specific instances where there's a two-way feedback mechanism that disrupts both the course of events and the participant's perception in a way that give rise to a disequilibrium. And this equilibrium is what the foundation of Soros like theory, which is there's always going to be disequilibrium. And so let's talk more about Soros like notion of thinking participants. So traditionally, we think of understanding as an essentially passive role and participating as an active role. But in truth, the two roles interfere with each other, which makes it impossible for the participant to base any decision on pure or perfect knowledge. And classical economic theory assumes that market participants act on the basis of perfect knowledge. This assumption is false. The participants' perception influence the market in ways they participate, but the market action can also influence the participants' perception. They cannot obtain perfect knowledge of the market because of their thinking is always affecting the market, and the market is affecting their thinking. And this is, I think, it's the core of what he believes in. It's like people will say GameStop stock is worth this much because they earn this much and the multiples are this much. But they're ignoring the fact that when you have 2 million people or 10 million people or how many millions of people, the retail traders, if they believe GameStop is going to be $100, let's say like last week, and now GameStop has reached $100, and now they believe it's going to go up to $200, and it has reached $200. And it's the fact that their thinking has affected the market, and the market also reinforced their thinking, which makes it pretty much completely disconnected from the so-called perfect knowledge, the market perfect knowledge of GameStop like financial statements that is available for everyone to see. But GameStop stock price is not based on that. Or let's say for Dogecoin, I mean, it is what it is. It's a Dogecoin. It's a joke. It's a meme. But if there's how many millions of people all believe Dogecoin is going to go to the moon, and now it's different because their thinking is affecting the market in the same way that the market is affecting their thinking. It's a two-way feedback loop. So, um, yeah, let me read another paragraph. So, we're accustomed to think of events as a consequence of facts. One set of facts follows another set of facts in a never-ending chain. When a situation has thinking participants, the chain does not lead directly from facts to facts. It leads from a fact to a participant's thinking, and then connects the participant's thinking to the next set of facts. And yeah, this is crucial. It's the fact that what Soros believed and how he was able to be very successful is the fact that he doesn't believe the market is in equilibrium. There are plenty of times when the market is in a disequilibrium, and he doesn't believe that market participants act on the basis of perfect knowledge. And that's a classical theory that most people believe in. Yes, there is perfect knowledge, but do people have the capabilities to really digest all the perfect knowledge, all the full knowledge out there? And is it really that everyone who have the same access of information is going to make the same decision? Or as the market evolves, if everyone believed Bitcoin was going to be crashed to it's worthless, at the beginning, as more people believing in it, the foundations of it changed. It's not facts and people's belief are not separate. They're intertwined together. So I actually thought about a way to really describe it is by drawing it, which is kind of like the mathematical infinity loop. So typically people believe that our thinking, our perception are based on facts. But according to Soros, reflexivity is kind of like this, where you have your thinking, you have the facts, and you have your thinking. But your thinking is based on the facts, but your thinking also affects the facts. And they're kind of in the loops that intertwine with each other. So next time, if we're especially from now, given the recent events, when we're evaluating future financial products or instruments or whatever, it's not going to be just based on the perfect information or the fundamentals. We really have to take into effect of what about the market participants, the thinking participants whose belief have the capabilities to impact the market as much as the underlying fundamentals. So yeah, pretty much this is it. And I'd love to share more about this book and other books I've been reading. If you're interested, please let me know. All right, goodbye.